Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we've got a lot to talk about. I'm afraid I've got kind of a few technology issues right now, so I'm pretty sure the microphone quality is quite bad as well, and my usual kind of drawing tools won't be so good as well. So it's a bit of a downgrade in technology. Hopefully I'll be able to get that kind of fixed by tomorrow. But we do have a lot to talk about over the next few days or so. Particularly, we've got two named storms, Storm Dudley and Storm Eunice. So let's start with this. These are the Metal Fist warnings. You can see we've got none on Monday and Tuesday, but then by Wednesday we have a large yellow warning across parts of Scotland, all of Northern Ireland, North Wales, Northern England as well. And if we click on this, we can see it's valid from 3 o'clock on Wednesday to 6 o'clock on Thursday, and Storm Dudley is expected to bring very strong winds. And you can see, if we read through the kind of text, we see very strong westerly winds are expected to develop and extend southeastwards. Still uncertainty in timing and location, but we could see inland wind gusts of 60 to 70 miles an hour in places, and 80 to 90 miles an hour gusts are possible around exposed coasts and hills of Scotland. And then you can see here we have this amber warning. This is next level up. You can see we have a kind of a medium likelihood and medium impact here, so that means it's amber. You can see covering the northern kind of coast of Northern Ireland, southwest Scotland, yes, so Scotland as well. Southern Scotland and Northern England, and you can see, reading this, we can see very strong westerly winds expected to develop, and you can see widely inland, or not widely, but inland gusts of 70 to 80 miles an hour in places, and also the possibility of 80 to 90 miles an hour around exposed coasts and hills. So that's quite extreme. We could see some kind of quite strong damage in places from that. Same for Thursday, and then by Friday the attention turns further south, as you can see here, and this is for Storm Eunice, valid from midnight till 9 p.m. and you can see Storm Eunice is likely to affect the UK on Friday, bringing a period of very strong winds that could cause significant disruption. And usually for a named storm you need to have an amber or red warning, but if their potential is deemed high enough for medium impacts to occur later on, for example, an amber warning or red warning be issued later on, even a yellow warning can be trigger a named storm. And you can see quite a concerning discussion for extremely strong winds, which may develop over southwest England early on Friday, and then spreading north and east. It's quite possible that winds will be 60 to 70 miles an hour widely, and then also the chance of gusts reaching even 80 miles an hour. 80 miles an hour inland, which is very significant, could cause some significant disruption. And you can see this is a low likelihood but high impact warning, which means the potential is there that it could become an amber warning, even a red warning if confidence increases. This is a graphic I made and posted on my Twitter account, and it kind of shows the update of the storm. And now this is all still kind of quite preliminary information, subject to change, but by the way, this is Storm Eunice. But you can see that this black arrow is kind of the general track of the storm, which is kind of being firmed up on a bit now, increasing chance that this will be the track. But then in this grey kind of shading, this is also the other areas which the storm could track through. So there's still lots of uncertainty. It's 4 or 5 days away. So while this is probably the most likely one at the moment, it could track far south as kind of through Wales into East Anglia, potentially even a bit further south than this, and it could even track as far north into kind of through Scotland, that kind of region as well. However, through this kind of all of Wales, parts of northwestern England and the Midlands is the area which there is now good confidence will probably experience the strongest winds, and at least some strong winds overall. But going to individual model outputs now, we'll start with the GFS. We'll take a look at the wind gusts. Sorry, let me just close this. You can see we'll start off with this kind of the overview, and you can see we have kind of rain crossing through Tuesday, and then here this low pressure system is Storm Eunice, and you can see it's bringing those very strong gusts. Look at those pink and grey colours. Those are gusts of 60 to 70, even 80 miles an hour in spots, transferring kind of through the central belt, through parts of Scotland, through the early hours on Thursday, late Wednesday into Thursday, and could be some strong winds quite far south as well, potentially into East Anglia, like that. And then this model shows Storm Eunice like this, bringing, let's go on to the precipitation, bringing very strong, very heavy rain, some potential for snow across parts of Scotland, Northern Ireland. But then look at those isobars tightening together, bringing, sorry, pardon me, Bringing very strong winds to kind of central southern parts of England. You can see here, this is a bit further south than some other models, but you can see widely 60 to 70, even 80 miles an hour on this model run. That's definitely something to note there. Going on to the ECMWF model, you can see this is what it's showing for Storm Eunice. Some heavy rain, but that deep low with some lively showers, and those strong winds spreading eastwards like this, potentially reaching 60 to 70 miles an hour, some western areas of Scotland, and those will be transferring eastwards. And then again, it's Storm Eunice, potentially the more significant storm, here bringing gusts of 60 to 70 miles an hour very widely, potentially even 80 miles an hour inland, and then potentially 90 to 100 mile an hour gusts on coast. Quite extreme, and you can see that this is a bit over the top, I'm guessing, but still very significant. And then this is the Icon model. This is the 6 o'clock run which just came out. Start with precipitation. You can see lots of heavy rain, and then quite strong winds for Storm Dudley here, potentially showing winds of over 90 to 100 miles an hour. This seems quite over the top to me. Definitely quite over the top given other models, but still we could see 60 to 70 miles an hour through parts of Northern Ireland, Scotland, Northern England. And then take a note on this model of further south, Storm Eunice. Look at this, lots of snow for parts of Ireland on this one, and Northern England and parts of Scotland as well. But those isobars crazily tight, and wow, that's pretty exceptional there on this one, bringing winds of over 100 miles an hour through Cornwall, Devon, parts of Wales, and the south coast. This is quite unlikely to happen. This is the worst case scenario for this storm. This would be very destructive, but it's in the minority of model output. We still need to watch for this trend, but I would suggest that it's probably unlikely to be this severe. One more model output is the arpegge model. Let me just go back to British Isles. And this you can see here for Storm Eunice, suggesting lots of rain kind of through Wednesday, and then those strong winds, those isobars tightening like so, 60 to 70 mile an hour wind gusts through parts of Northern England, Southern Scotland, Northern Ireland. And then turn the attention to Friday. That's Storm Eunice there. Lots and lots of heavy rain on the north side of this system, like so. Heavy snow piling into parts of the high ground of Northern England and Scotland. But then the main threat, look down to those isobars really tight there. 80, 90 mile an hour wind gusts through the Irish Sea, like so, transferring inland, bringing a spell of 60 70 mile an hour widely through almost all of England, and then through the Midlands, Wales, 70 to 80 miles an hour even inland. So quite extreme, really. Just checking if there has been an update on some model output here. Doesn't seem to be. But now we're going to look at the UKV model. This is the kind of cloud you can see here, and then rain. You can see for Storm. This is a main metal fist model, by the way. You can see Storm Eunice here, kind of lots and lots of heavy rain, showers, potentially snow over the highest ground of Scotland. And then look at those isobars really tightening together through Northern Ireland, especially. And if we take a look at those wind gusts, you can see, wow, potentially even near 90 to 100 miles an hour in places. But you can see those strongest winds kind of through this region perfectly, where that amber warning is, like so, lining up well with that. And you can see potentially those stronger winds, 60 mile an hour gusts, 50 mile an hour gusts, spreading a bit further south as well, and potentially some pretty nasty 80 to 90 mile an hour gusts kind of through the Irish Sea, potentially into kind of parts of northwest England and Wales. Then for Storm Eunice, again turning very wet and windy through Friday on this model. You can see here a lot of the rain, and potentially some snow as well over parts of Scotland, potentially showing this model showing a kind of 10 to 20 centimeters or so quite widely, potentially a bit more than that. But the main focus is the wind. Look at that, 100 mile an hour wind gusts south of Ireland, transferring kind of through Wales, 100 mile an hour wind gusts, pretty crazy. Those kind of strongest wind gusts kind of passing north through kind of parts of northwest Wales, and then those strongest winds kind of heading inland, 70 to 80 mile an hour gusts widely, and then the storm kind of exiting the region. Now that's kind of it from today. I hope you managed with this kind of the bad audio quality and stuff like that. But thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more updates, because it could be quite disruptive, both of these storms, especially Storm Eunice potentially. And to make sure to stay up to date with the forecast, you like, subscribe the video so you can see more. Thanks for watching. Bye.